So I was back on AIagentstore.ai this morning, our usual spot for this stuff. And I was just scrolling. And I stopped on this one tool called the popebot.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the page now, just scanning this. Docker, GitHub Actions, secret filtering. I mean, this is squarely for the developers and, the DevOps engineers in our audience, people who want open source tools they can actually, get their hands on.
That's exactly what caught my eye. Usually these agents, they need a server or you're paying for some platform.
Yeah.
But this one, it runs completely on GitHub Actions.
Which is such a smart move architecturally. Instead of making you maintain a whole separate environment, it just leverages the CI/CD pipeline everyone's already using.
Right. You're just piggybacking on infrastructure that, well, for open source is often free.
Exactly. Free compute.
But, okay, let's talk about actually using it.
Yeah.
Do I need to write some, super complex config file every time?
Surprisingly, no. The whole user experience is conversational. You're just talking to it, either through Telegram or a webhook.
Yeah. Okay, so I text the bot. What's actually happening behind the scenes when I hit send?
This is where it gets really interesting. That event triggers, and the system immediately creates a new job branch in your repository.
A separate branch for each task.
A separate branch. Then GitHub Actions spins up a Docker container.
Right, but a container is just an empty box. What's inside that's actually, doing the work?
Inside that container is the Pi coding agent. That's the brain. It uses an LLM to figure out your request. It generates the code, and then, this is the key part, it commits the changes and opens a pull request.
Okay, hold on, though. Security. If this thing is running inside my GitHub Actions, it needs access to secrets, to API keys, giving an autonomous bot the keys to the kingdom. That sounds like a nightmare.
That is always the big hesitation, isn't it? But looking at the source here, they've built in something they call secret filtering, and it's done at the process level.
What does that actually mean in practice?
Think of it like a soundproof booth. The agent is inside the booth, and it can use the keys to do its job. But the environment itself stops it from ever saying those secrets out loud. So it can't print them to the logs. They just get filtered out.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Now, the other thing that always gets complicated is memory. How does it know what I did 5 commits ago? Is it dragging around some huge vector database?
No. And honestly, this might be the most brilliant part of the whole design. It doesn't use an external database at all. It treats the Git repository history as its memory.
Wow. So the commit log is the brain.
In a very practical sense, yes. And think about why that's so powerful. If a normal AI agent with a database brain starts acting weird, how do you even begin to fix it? It's a black box.
Right. I'd have no idea where to even start.
Exactly. But with this, if the bot messes up, its memory is just the Git history. You don't debug the AI, you just run git revert.
You turn this huge AI problem into a command every developer already knows.
And it makes everything the agent does totally auditable and, crucially, reversible.
That is so much cleaner. I am, however, looking at the workflow options here, and I see auto merge. So this thing could, in theory, write code, pass the tests, and merge it straight into my main branch while I'm asleep.
Theoretically, yes. That's the promise of full autonomy.
I don't know if I trust any bot that much yet. I feel like I'd just wake up to a broken production server.
And that's a valid fear, but that's the trade-off. For low-risk things, auto merge is efficient. For your core infrastructure, you just let it open the pull request and you review it in the morning. The value is that it does the grunt work 24/7 on free compute, whether you let it push the final button or not.
That's fair. If you want to check out the code or deploy it yourself, the link is over at AIagentstore.ai.
It really makes you wonder, though, if the agent is using the Git history as its brain, at what point does the repository itself sort of become the developer? And we just become the editors, curating the commit log.
That's a thought that is going to keep me up tonight. A huge thank you to everyone who has been rating the show. It really, really helps us out. Catch you next time.